responsible right now to introduce the most important part of our evening and why so many of our family members are here, our friends are here. It's to introduce the Jean Haggerty Award. And let's see. This award was first awarded in 2010, and that went to Isaac Ben Ezra, as we mentioned. So it doesn't take long to make an impact in this community. So Jean Haggerty, came into town back in 2000, and she came from Texas, and she was around. Isaac befriended her right away. They were active. They engaged with people, with their neighbors. They said, come out, pay attention to what's happening in our community. We can improve our situation. She lived in the Ann Whalen house, so that was her niche, and her passion was to get community empowerment happening in folks' lives. Some of the folks who were the awardees after Isaac, it was Cynthia Brubaker, Ed Severance, who
was former board member.
Right, and then later on, the Rotary Club that he was a part of also received the award. And then, beloved late Judy Brooks, Jerry Gates, Representative Ellen Story, Amherst Legal Women Voters, Dr. Elsie Fetterman, who's in the audience, Dr. Carly and Gary Tartikoff right here. We salute you. Carly, we couldn't have a party when you received the award, and Gary, but so hopefully we'll have a gathering with dance, so we can incorporate that next year. Yes, Mrs. Pat loves to get the drums going and get the dance and our heartbeats up. So, but this year we have the honor to bestow the Jean Haggerty Award for Community Engagement and Social Justice to Sheena Bowman, who's not here with us, unfortunately, but we have Darius Cage. Please stand up if you would like. Deborah Ferreira. Mrs. Pat Onanabaku. We have Brianna Owen. And we have Russ Vernon Jones. And we have Alicia Walker, our town councilor, as well. But I just want to remind everyone that if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. And that's what Mrs. Pat has always bestowed upon me. And that's why she reminds us that just because one group or one individual gets, the recognition doesn't mean other people haven't been before them, having done the work. Real work. When they address policing in this community, that has been addressed way before. And this time, we have Amherst Media covering the town committees. We are able to have the leadership to push the town and push ourselves to do better and do more when we have the information, we have the data, and we have the experience. I just want to say that this is our moment because we do this work because we're not financially well off, like some people can be financially well off, or they're retired, they have all this time and luxury, or they're operating out of some guilt or whatever. Some of us are experiencing this in the moment, that we're doing this because we care passionately about social change, that we know that if we don't step up, it may not happen, and that we want to make a real difference in our lives, in the lives of our kids, in the lives of our neighbors, in the lives of the people who we love, people we don't know, but we have, come to feel for, okay? So, Jim, would you like to come up and introduce our next speaker and presenter?
Thank you, Vera. First, I want to congratulate you all for such an amazing job. I mean, really, observing it and not being able to talk about it, from my position, but to really watch you take those hard stands. Congratulations. I had the pleasure of meeting Gene Haggerty and Isaac Ben Ezra when I was interviewed for this job. They were on the selection committee. And they both asked a lot of hard questions. And I did the best I could, and they said, okay, not bad, kid. I was a kid to them. So my next, I want to introduce our next speaker, who probably doesn't need any introduction. I first met her when she was running the Survival Center here in Amherst. And when she decided to put her hat in the ring and run, a lot of people were very excited because they knew she is a hard worker, that she would represent and would listen and represent and would listen and represent again. And I think the combination that I don't live here, but work here, have is this wonderful combination of Joe Comerford and State Representative Mindy Dom. Mindy, please. Come on up.
Thank you, Joe. That was really very kind and sweet. I feel the same way about Joe. We're very lucky she's our state senator. Good evening, everybody. This is such a great event, and I love coming to the annual meetings, but there's something also about being in this place and all of us being out here in this stormy night, honoring these great community members. That's just putting me over the moon, actually. When I first saw the email come through about the annual meeting, I immediately said to my staff person, I said, we've got to make citations for folks. This is just an incredible event to honor this amazingly hardworking, successful, effective community group, which doesn't always happen. So, I want to wish you congratulations, but as a resident of Amherst, I also want to express my deep gratitude. Your work is so substantial, and talk about documenting work. The reports, the footnotes, everything is just. And when I started reading it, I thought, oh my God, this is a college class on what we have to do to make our community safe, but written for people who are on the move and who need to make immediate decisions and put things into action. And what the evidence of that is that 2 of your recommendations are already in place. That never happens. And there are 2 things that are not just one-dimensional. There are 2 things that incorporate not only many different parts of our town, but required sort of a staffing up that was really significant, a training not only of the people who are coming on, but a training of the town of what to expect. You've accomplished so much already. I really want you to know. I know there's much more to do, but right now I'm celebrating what you brought to Amherst. Thank you. And I see this award as also marking a celebration of what you've achieved. I've talked with a lot of folks before tonight, and some people were concerned that other things wouldn't happen or what has happened, all over the place. My being here tonight and my celebrating you is celebrating what you've already done, which isn't only reflected in 2 major services being created in Amherst, one of them being unique in Massachusetts and the only one of its kind, thanks to you, but also the work that went into to support that, the foundation of the work that you have put in place that not only has resulted in 2 new services, but more for the future. So thank you so much. And I don't know if people realize that, but the Alternatives to Police program that was recommended and now implemented by the Community Safety Working Group is the only one at this point in Massachusetts. And it's not going to, it was the only one for a long time. Northampton is now coming up, and there'll be others, but Amherst has led the pack, and we've led it thanks to the community safety work. So I am really pleased to offer each of you a citation. So I hope that's not overkill, but I didn't know if I just made one for the Community Safety Working Group, would they have to rotate it? So I wanted, if you don't mind, I'm going to call you each up. But first, I'll just read you what it says, okay? And Darius Cage, you're the first one, so you're going to be you're going to be sort of the trial. Okay. So this is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Darius Cage in recognition of your receiving Amherst Media's Gene Haggerty Award for Community Engagement and Social Change as a member of the Town of Amherst Community Safety Working Group. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. And it's given today. It's signed by the Speaker and myself. So Darius, would you... Deborah Ferreira. I'm not going to read it again because I just think people will get tired of my voice, but I want you to see what it looks like. And I want to thank you so much. Mrs. Pat, it doesn't say Mrs. Pat on this. It actually says your own name. And now I'm realizing what a dope. I should have written
It's fine.
I just want you to know this is her second time up here. I've given her a citation before for the Gene Haggerty Award. Thank you so much. Of course. Thank you. Brianna Owen. Thank you. I just want to point out, Brianna and Alicia have a little bit something different on theirs. It says, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Brianna Owen in recognition of your receiving Amherst Media's Gene Haggerty Award for Community Engagement and Social Change as a member of the Town of Amherst's Community Safety Working Group and serving as its co-chair. Yes. Thank you. Such leadership. Russ Vernon Jones. So Russ was my daughter's elementary school principal. So I feel like maybe you should feel like you're coming to the principal's office. So there's yours, sir. Thank you so much. Alicia Walker. And such leadership. And I just want to say that, Alicia, as we all know, continues sort of to raise up the Community Safety Working Group in all the places that she goes, including the town council. And though I felt bad about not putting Mrs. Pat as Mrs. Pat on the citation, now I realize I should have put the Honorable Alicia Walker. So if you want a different one, let me know. I'll make another one for you. But yours also says and acknowledges your role as co-chair. Yes. I just really want to point out that, and I'm going to say young, because compared to like Jim, my age, these two young women having such leadership in our town in this way. And thank you, Amherst Media, for all you do so we can watch town council meetings till they end. And really that. And also thank you for allowing me to have this time to honor these great residents.
Yes, we will have a group photo at the end, and we're going to get the remarks from, the co-chairs? Both co-chairs will come on up. I want to also recognize any media here in the room besides Amherst Media Recording. We have Amherst Indy, Art Keen, thank you. Also a member, because it is about democratizing the airwaves. We want more voices, right? So because Amherst Media belongs to everybody. And we know there are certain communities that we haven't heard from a lot. And I think that's the beautiful thing about our staff. They're women of color. I've already seen the beautiful changes that's happening. It's amazing, and we want you all to be a part of it. So we're gonna close out, but before we're gonna close out, we're gonna hear the remarks of these individuals. Okay, there you go. Please do.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight with us. So I know that everyone has individually already been recognized, but I want to take another moment to do so myself. So we are honored to receive the Gene Haggerty Award on behalf of the Community Safety Working Group. I want to recognize all of the members of the committee, including Tashina Bowman, who cannot be here tonight, but is here in spirit and was a very hardworking member and an essential part of our group as well. Darius Cage, Deborah Ferreira, Pat Ananabaku, and Russ Vernon-Jones. So research suggests that it takes about 40 hours of spending time with somebody to make a real friend. And we have spent over 200 hours together on live recorded meetings. And so tonight we are receiving this award as a family. What has made the CSWG's work so successful was our authenticity, vulnerability, and trust in one another. All members of this committee have their own unique experiences living here in Amherst and have shared a level of vulnerability to be able to share it with one another and with our entire community. Different from other groups, the elders in this group entrusted us as young people to lead and steer us towards change, and for that we are forever grateful. Our group is forever indebted to our community that trusted us to speak truth to power, and without the work of Amherst Media, we would not be here. Amherst Media has provided services that allow folks access to local government and provide pathways for folks to engage with groups like the CSWG.
The CSWG was able to recommend the direction that we should take to move our community to be more equitable. And although we are proud of the work we have completed, there is so much more work to be done. We hope as the budget season starts, all of you listening in here help us advocate for our recommendations to come to fruition just the way we wrote them in our reports. Now more than ever, our community needs a resident oversight board that can serve as a third party to restore justice to our community. And we need a youth empowerment center for young people to explore their talents and strengths. We urge you all to continue to support and uplift our successor group, the Community Safety and Social Justice Committee, as they carry on this important work. The marathon continues. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing us. Thank you so much for recognizing us for this award. Jean was a successful organizer and passionate about advocacy, free speech, social justice, and service. We are honored to continue Jean's work and be a part of her legacy in this community.
It's been a long evening, but well worth it to honor this wonderful group. They represent the best of us. And so let us continue with this good work here at Amherst Media, but out in the community. Go home and be safe, and thank you for joining us.